Alright, Mad Mikey here. I'm going to do a review of my 2010 Victory Vision. This is a premium version. We'll just basically start from the front and move our way through the back here. And first off, on the front headlight here, these are normal halogen bulbs, and right here is an HID. Okay, and the HID default is off and you turn it on with the dash. This windshield is electric, moves up and down on this premium, and with this premium it also comes with these wind deflectors, which these move, but they're very stiff. It's almost best to loosen them up a little bit to move them, but I have them locked where I want them. So we'll see. I'll show you how the windshield moves up and down here. You turn it to the on position, and then you can go down and then up. Okay, and while we're here on the key, you turn this to the lock position momentarily. It opens up the fuel door, so you turn it to lock momentarily and this pops open and you can fill up there with premium, and they even have a nice little recessed area to put the lid whenever you're filling up. It's got standard gauge cluster, fuel gauge, speedometer, which says 180, which is kind of a joke, but and then the center console, it'll show you your cruise control, and when you're in neutral that'll light up green, and then it has warnings, and then your directional indicators will light up when they're turned on. Okay, these mirrors are pretty good. I'm wide shouldered, so I added these in here, these little spot mirrors, which help me out tremendously. We'll go through the controls here. This push to talk, squelch communication is for the optional intercom system that you can buy for this. It gets plugged in here, and there's also one in the back rest. Here's the back trunk. It's here, and it gets plugged in there for the passenger. Okay, and the radio gets turned on right here with this button, and the display for the radio is here. It's pretty self-explanatory stuff. This bike came with a GPS. I removed it and added this mount so I can put my iPhone on it. And then the GPS power cable, I just spliced in a lightning cable, so it was really nice. Anyway, high beam, low beam, directional signals here. This is the horn button, and then this is your radio controls. You know, you can tune up and down, mute, volume, and something else that I didn't know right off in the beginning when I bought this bike, but there's, you know, a trip computer here, trip A, trip B, and you can scroll through how many miles to the gallon you're getting. We'll see if that'll light up. Yeah, so that display, you can see it says neutral there. I can cycle through those screens. Trip 1, trip 2, average miles per gallon 44.6, miles per hour average 45.9. I got 123 miles on the range. That's until I'm empty, and the instant miles per gallon. Yeah, so, and then anyway, but in order to cycle it, it's here on the driver's side control back here. So when your hand's on here, you can just operate it with the finger tip. We'll turn this back to off. These displays here, these are for your hand grip heat for your driver, hazards, and this, when you push this up, turns on the HID, and I always leave mine off unless I'm touring back roads and at night. Anyway, we'll move on to the right side handlebar here. This is the run, kill switch, standard on all motorcycles. Here's the start button, and here is the cruise control on. And at night you'll notice there will be a little dot here that lights up, but the problem with this bike, I wish they would have thought of it, at night the accelerate and decelerate settings, they're not lit up, so you can't see to accelerate and decelerate. So you just have to remember where they're at. So you just turn it to on, then you hit set, and then a little light will light up on your display here saying the cruise control's on, and then you accelerate and decelerate there. These hand grips, I added these little foamies on here just to give it a little more bulk because I got big hands. And anyway, they're heated grips. So we'll move on. These seats are heated. Okay, I added these sheepskins, and this is a real sheepskin, and I added this spray glued 3M Super 77. These drawer liners for kitchens on here, keep them from sliding, and I just cut them to shape. And this is a 3-inch black sheepskin, and I got one for my wife too. She really likes it. We'll go to the back. We'll pan out here for a second. That's the rear trunk. And then back here there's a couple more controls. This is the push to talk and volume for the intercom system. And then the heated seats, the controls for those are right underneath here. There's a rocker switch. Forward for this one, and then center for both, and then off in the, or far back for both, and then center for off. So anyway, so we'll walk around here. This is the trunk. You push this button in, trunk will pop up, and inside the trunk there is a light here. You can turn it on and off. And also inside the trunk there is a power port here for charging cell phones or whatever. 2 full-size helmets will fit inside this trunk, but I just have it full of other stuff. Let's go back to this side right here. This has an airbag suspension in the rear, and sometimes it'll leak a little bit of air, but to open these side compartments up, you just push this in and it pops that down. And the filler for the airbag suspension is here. There's a little chart here on your weight and then how much air you need to put in it. I'm fat, so I always keep it inflated to around 60 pounds in there, and it's just a standard air chuck. We'll go around to the passenger side here. So I just got mine full of stuff. These aren't removable bags like other vehicles I've had, BMWs and FJR. These come off that I've noticed, but on this one they don't. Something else, these latches here will get gummed up pretty easy. I clean them about once a year. You'll notice that you're going to go and these will stick, and these bags don't want to open. So I blow those out and relubricate them every year. Okay. It's got a 6-speed transmission in it. You'll see it here. It's got a 106 cubic inch engine in it. That 6-speed transmission, this is a 2010, and I believe it's got straight cut gears all the way through, so they're a little noisy, but I think 5th gear is maybe a 1-to-1 because it's pretty quiet, but I think in 2011 they changed that, so it might feel a little more sophisticated in 11, but this feels a little raw, you know, sort of like old school Harley feel in the transmission. And so let me give you a few specs here I have on my phone. Let's look at this. Let me see here. The rear tire that I was running was a Metzler ME880, and I would get about 9,700 miles on it. And the front tire was also a Metzler ME880, at almost 11,000 on it. The oil I run, 4.5 quarts, a synthetic. The bolt for the oil drain plug was not a bolt. It's actually a recessed Allen bolt, and it's a 6mm to get that off. And the oil filter I run is a K&N 198. The front tire size is a 130/70/18. The rear tire size is a 180/60/16. Okay, and I went dark side, as you can tell. So I put on a Cooper model CS3 195/55/16 for my rear tire, because I'm tired of paying $400 every time I need a tire. Let's take a look at it. We'll get down here on the ground real quick. So there it is, if you can't see it. And one of the reasons you're probably watching this video is about my glass packs. Okay, and I don't know if you can see that or not. I'm going to try to, that's a starburst. So anyway, there it is. And then there's the tip. Okay, it requires a little bit of fabrication. I'm going to insert some photos in here on how I did it. I didn't take a video of it because I did it 2 years ago before I got a camcorder. But anyway, let me just read off the part numbers I used. So the muffler itself was a Thrush 24-205, 2¼ inch ID, and it's actually 31 OAL. And that stainless resonator tip, which you see right here that sticks out, is a Spectra resonator tip, 2 to 3 inch inlet, part number 25556, and that's what I used. Let's fire this up and see if you like the sound. Turn it on. Put that to run. Let's start this thing up. I'll put this microphone by the exhaust and rev it up a little bit. Hopefully that was clear. I got a little lapel mic I laid there on the ground, so we'll see if that's clear in the video. But that's pretty much it. Let me turn this around where you can see me. So that's my review of my 2010 Victory Vision, and like I said, I'll try to insert some photos. Yet I had to weld a couple tabs onto those Thrush mufflers to get them to bolt up. So I basically just took the old mufflers off, laid them on my bench, seeing where the brackets were, and it's really just simple brackets that you weld on top, and then I just painted them with high temp paint. But you can't even see any of that because it's covered up with that chrome shield, because all the muffler is covered up with this shield here. So right underneath here is the 31-inch glass pack. So anyway, all right, Mad Mike XXL signing out. Have a good day, YouTube. XXL signing out. Have a good day, YouTube.
Last packed, baby.